Okay, this is the preliminary design. And a lot of the popular symbols.
So Winston Rodney's face.
Yeah.
Marcus
So
Garvey's face.
I've taken those elements that are popular images and I've integrated them into my work to sort of explain my understanding of it, or and to show and to illustrate history as well, but also to explain a certain understanding of it, putting them in a different context, which is maybe more of my slant on it as opposed to what other artists have explored.
And that bank of images is pretty repetitive, kind of like the music too. And the other thing about the woodcuts is that they lend themselves to the music pretty well, it seems, because they have they're pretty simple and straightforward. They have that repetition in them that's so crucial, in that vibrant kind of aspect to them, right?
Yeah, I think in the woodcuts, I'm maybe trying to, in some ways, repeat like the dub experience through the work, or trying to get across the same, trying to get the essence of the music across in a visual way through the use of colors, things like you've talked about, repetition, things like that are evident in the music.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing a lot of work also with posters. Like in Jamaica, you see a lot of posters advertising reggae dance halls and concerts and things like that. So that's something I've explored in my collage to an extent, the idea of posters and repetition, because they're mostly colored posters.
Yeah.
And you see those things. So those are other sort of popular images that I've appropriated, I guess, and explored in my work.
How do you defend appropriating those images, using and borrowing those images in that work?
It's a difficult question because it's not the African culture and the Jamaican culture and heritage is not specifically my heritage. I'm a white male and I'm Canadian, so a lot of people might have some problems with that. I see my use of those images, however, being significant to me because of my experience in Jamaica and my experience with the music. And I can't deny the influence of the music on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, because it's impossible to ignore the inherent messages that are in the music as well, for me that's an important part of the music, so.
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to say. It's hard for me to say if I'm a Rastafarian. There's certain many elements of the Rastafarian lifestyle which I have learned and attempted to apply to my own daily life. But I think it's a very serious thing at the same time. I don't think religion is something to be taken lightheartedly, right? So I think I think of myself as still learning about it and still trying to apply those things to my life. So I don't want to get in. I don't want to repeat myself, but the thing is, like,
well, the art's part of the learning process.
I think through my art, I'm learning more about the religion and things and exploring it more. I've chosen to be an artist, and I had my experiences in Jamaica before I came to school, and it's something while I've been in school attempting to finish my studies, it's something that I keep thinking about, and perhaps through my art it's something that my art is also a way to continue that in my life and not to forget it, because I can't be in Jamaica right now. So it's also a way of trying not to forget about it. And because I've gotten into it so seriously, I think it'd be impossible for me not to return to Jamaica and to continue, or return to the Caribbean and continue to explore these things, as well as to go back and continue my volunteer work at some point. I think I continue to think about it. I can't stop thinking about it. So, okay, this is I start with the drawing of the design for the wood block, and keeping the reversal of reduction printmaking in mind, or any printmaking for that matter. The design is then traced and transferred backwards onto the block. So these are what the blocks look like. For this particular piece, I used 2 blocks in the reduction method, using a key plate for 2 of the colors and using this plate for 4 of the other colors, 3 being green. Cutting, there's a reduction. So this is a print off of the key plate for the blue, and then that plate has cutting done, some reduction cut on it, and it's put away. The other plate's brought out. A yellow is printed on one block, and then a red is printed from the other. Actually, the red and the green are printed at the same time off of the same plate the yellow is printed off, so there's a reduction happening again. There's more reduction on the same plate, so the second green is printed off of that plate. And then there's further reduction where a third green is added, and then we return to the key plate for the final black inking, which is printed over top of that, which brings everything together. So that's an idea of how the wood block method works. Does my artwork function as a means of social change? It goes into the work a lot, and more as the more I've been here at school and understanding my work and the art, I guess the art world in general, all the implications of that. There's a bit of a struggle because I want my work to be viewed by all people, and the gallery system sort of seems to streamline the work into, you know, people who can afford. I'm sort of projecting ahead, thinking, what if I was showing in a gallery in Toronto? Would the message be getting out?
Mm-hmm.
I've got to wonder if the people who are buying my art are learning anything from it, or if it's an aesthetic choice. You know, if people are buying it because it looks good. But I've tried to, you know, I've tried to keep a balance. I don't want my work to be overtly political, necessarily at face value, but I want a lot of those elements to be obvious in there for people to think about, right? Like scenes of the ghetto and things like that. I want people to look at that work and understand where it's coming from and why I'm doing it, I guess.
What are you putting back in for the people there when you present these images and produce them?
I'm hoping to educate people about the situation there, and to educate people about why conditions in the third world are the way they are. Well, I've had some other people from Jamaica interested in my work, and they seem to think that the message came across, as well as the fact that I was successful in capturing the spirit of Jamaica in my work. So.
Would you be ready, you know, with your work and in your head, to go to the Rastafari Cultural Center, or to go to, say, Bickford Community Center or something like that, and put a show of work on there, you know, in a community setting, for people that you know are also close to a lot of the subject matter, in the way that they've been exposed to that imagery in the not to insult you, but in its real place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In Caribbean culture.
Well, that's one thing I've been thinking about. I mean, I've been in school and I've been busy doing my work as well, and I've been trying to get it more exposure. And one thing that I've been thinking about a lot more strongly is getting ties with the community, Caribbean community specifically in Canada as well, and talking to more people, talking to members of the Rastafarian community, and getting some feedback on what I'm doing as well, right? Because I haven't done that. I mean, I've had some feedback from people from Jamaica, but perhaps I've been thinking that I need to get some feedback from people that are in the Rastafarian movement as well. I see a lot of parallels between art and music, and when I think of reggae music specifically, I mean a lot of white people have become involved in reggae music and playing reggae music and things like that, and I don't think people see that as any sort of appropriation of culture, right? It's become an accepted thing, so I kind of see my art as operating on that same level as well. I don't